So markets hit all-time highs today, and here's everything you need to know. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Tech Hub Solutions, and quickly after the CPI data report was released, the Nasdaq market, also known as QQQ, which is the one-for-one ETF, quickly shot up. It went back to retest 577, and then shortly after the market opened, we retraced back down to pre-market support. Surprise, surprise, markets are incredibly bullish. They twisted it in a way that although core inflation came in much hotter than what was expected, I'm sorry, not much hotter, just hotter than what was expected. Expectation was that it was going to come in at 3%. It came in at 3.1, showcasing that yes, core inflation is rising for the second consecutive month. But overall inflation, as many of you guys saw, came in a little bit lower than what was expected. We came in at 2.7% when the expectation was 2.8%. So technically speaking, we saw no change from last month to this month based off of how the inflation rate is calculated for overall CPI. But remember, the Federal Reserve cares more about core CPI because according to their monetary policy and what they can do, they really just can influence core CPI, not overall CPI. But again, not enough people, in my opinion, understand that. So when they say that, oh wow, hey, based off of today's inflation report, we came in lower. That's good news. Now the Federal Reserve can cut rates sooner than later. And that's really what the market is factoring in. Like, it's not just an opinion, it's kind of I don't want to say a fact because this is just a probability tool, but you just saw that. It went from 90 to 93%. This is the highest I have seen this probability tool, which is the Fed rate monitor tool, at for the highest probability for a potential rate cut on the next meeting. Remember, Trump has been desperately asking and poking fun on Jerome Powell to cut rates. I want to remind you that it's not just Jerome Powell who decides if rates should be cut or if rates should stay the same. But yes, the Federal Reserve, based off of recent FOMC meetings, had made it very clear that they are focusing on the data. And I thought that this was actually pretty interesting. I really liked this take because I think it highlights what most of the market is thinking. It's not that I agree with it, but it's that this is how the market reacted. All eyes are on the Fed Chair Powell as of right now. Headline inflation is cold. That's overall CPI. Core inflation, core CPI, hot, meaning higher than what is expected. Month over month inflation, as expected. We think that Trump is getting his wishes of a 25 basis point rate cut in September. The Fed will point at the weaker labor market despite hotter inflation. So I believe that this is what the market is reacting to today. And there is some truth in it. Because, again, a lot of people just like to talk. They don't actually listen to what Jerome Powell says and how he speaks about the Federal Reserve Committee, right? It's a series of members, right? It's a board, and a lot of these members actually speak tomorrow. So that's one thing that I wanted you guys to be aware is that tomorrow, let me make sure. Why is this not updating? Oh, it's updated based off of Eastern Standard Time already. Okay. So it shows that FOMC member Barkin speaks, and this is going to be about an hour and a half before the market opens. And then there's one more. There is FOMC member Bostic, and he's actually more on the cutting rate side. So be careful tomorrow. I would not be surprised that based off of these two Fed members, they often try to pay attention to their tone. Are they willing to cut rates, or are they eager to stay, certain on pausing? But based off of Bostic, he tends to be pretty open about, willing to cut rates. But if you've paid attention to the Federal Reserve and what they've been stating over and over again is that they not only want maximum employment, which based off of one of the most recent non-farm payrolls, we saw that it came in much lower than what was expected. I don't know if you guys saw that, where Trump took to Truth Social or Twitter, whatever it is that you want to call it, and he blamed Biden. This is Biden's fault, right? And and he like fired everyone that was part of that committee. He's like, no, this is Biden's fault. This is Biden's labor market, but it's Trump's stock market. I just don't like. We never expect anyone to be perfect. I think that would be very naive for anyone to think. But to always point the finger and to like blame someone else, to always have a scapegoat for anything bad in the economy, it's literally a recipe for disaster, because it is true. The stock market is performing exceptionally well, and it's performing like this all based off of hope. But what happened in 2021 to 2022? We saw a very strong rally for the market just to come crashing down. And again, it's just because it's not sustainable like this. We saw an incredibly strong rally. We peaked in 2021, the end of 2021, and then we saw a really strong retracement where for nearly 1 year, 12 consecutive months, we saw a consistent lower high and lower low. So again, now markets are incredibly inflated. It's not to instill fear in you. You hold and you buy as much of what you want in this market. You're an adult. I don't care what it is that you do. I'm just here to remind you, at these overbought levels where there's extreme greed. I mean, as of right now, you have even a 91% of fund managers say that the US stocks are overvalued. This is the most hated rally, is what people are saying. And that might be the case. That might be how you view it. Let me share both sides. And I sound like a broken record because I've said this over and over again. If the Federal Reserve does cut rates, at least for a short period of time, markets can push up higher. That's very well understood. There's no reason to pretend like the markets can't push up higher. I mean, let's look at today, right? Markets pushed up higher even though overall or core inflation came in higher than what was expected. Overall inflation came in as the same as last month, but core inflation came in higher. Yet markets still pushed to new all-time highs. For what? Because the Federal Reserve is going to cut rates? But isn't that why we recovered in the first place? Well, what about all these trade agreements that Trump promised, right? Well, now we're getting an update saying that, the U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent says that India is not being cooperative in trade talks. And also, the Trump administration just extended the China pause for another 90 days. What happened to all of these art of the deal? Like, this is the part that I believe is the biggest issue, is that if the Federal Reserve does begin to cut rates as early as September, but we can clearly see that inflation is not dropping, it's actually rising. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. You can look at the past few months. We've seen it since April. We've seen consecutive rises or break even. And this isn't even with tariffs taken into effect that went back into effect after that 90-day pause. The part that I think that we forget is what happened back in 2021, where we were cutting rates so aggressively. We just printed a ton of money, and it was all inflationary. And that's the whole point, that the Federal Reserve began to pause when Trump began to raise tariffs. But then markets began to free fall. He began to pause. So that now markets recovered based off of the hope that he's going to have it all figured out. Please just be cautious. This isn't something that's going to happen now or this week, maybe even this month, right? Especially with the expectation that the Federal Reserve could possibly cut rates. And that possibility is very high based off of that Fed rate monitor tool. Just be mindful of your position. There's nothing wrong with being long, right? On any of these positions. Just be careful with your margin and be careful with your leverage. Because leverage and margin, when it turns against you, when market direction turns against you, it's a terrible thing. Markets pull back all the time. It really just gives you a dip buy opportunity for those that actually want to get invested. Please do not be overly leveraged in a position that if there is a 10 or 20 or 30% retracement, that it doesn't completely destroy you. And if that offends you, that I even say that to highlight risk, then I would say that you're part of the problem. That people like you that like to encourage people to buy on leverage are the sole reason on why markets get to these levels and then crash 30, 40, 50% in such a short period of time. And that's why crypto bros lose everything when they've had everything, and then they never take profits, they give it all back, and then they like to blame everyone else. Remember, you're never going to be a perfect trader, you're never going to be a perfect investor. Get in, get out, make your money, and bounce, right? Just that simple. So I appreciate you guys' time. I hope to see you for tomorrow's live trading session. If you want to tune on in, it's the second link in the description down below. Appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.